Hello everyone, so today we are going to do, I felt like it would be good to channel Luigi Mangione, who is innocent until proven guilty, is allegedly the ex-er of Brian Thompson, the CEO. Several reasons why I want to do this, because I think there's going to be a lot of people that go down a route, and I think we're in a very dangerous space, okay, because we are coming into an era where the people are at power, okay? But we need to make sure that this is, as much as, you know, there's a vigilante kind of purpose that I got in the first read, I was getting also there's a trauma that he has, and I don't think he's processed it. So I thought, let me channel his energy. So for me, I do energy channeling. Some might say it's mind probing. Some might just say it's a psychic read, but I'm channeling the energy right now. It's the 10th of December. I recorded the global psychic predictions a couple of hours ago, and now it's the 10th of December, and a bit it'll be midnight into the 11th of December. So you'll have the latest reads on Hannah Kobayashi, which, by the way, the last read of the card pull, I think it was, I scheduled it for the members the same evening of the part 1, part 2 the second day. But as it was going into premiere just before then, I really felt like there'd been some news. I think the family knows something, and I think, you know, if we don't hear about it tomorrow, the 11th, I definitely think we're going to hear about it the 12th, like in a day. So it's just like I feel it. I was feeling the angst, and I think I wrote a comment that we will hear something, okay, for sure. And if we don't hear it in this next day or two max, I'd give it, even if in the evening hours, it's known. Like, the energy I feel is there's something. So we are going to get an announcement, but I think there's still going to be a lot that's going to be unfolding. I think there's going to be kind of like, I got in the cards, thing to do here is that the thing needs to calm down a bit, the noise, because it's such a sticky situation with her to get her back. I think she is in greater risk to Mexico. I think that was a strategic move. But I think, you know, even whenever they do, I think they might just announce, we are now in contact with her, or something to quiet things down. But there's more unfolding, okay? And I think with that, if they do that, watch the space, but also there's a lot of people missing, okay? But I will continue to do readings where I feel it's relevant. I also looked up to try and see if I can find a picture of anyone that she was with, like her ex, etc. And I was taken back at the blue eyes, because I said in the first read, didn't I said about the blue eyes. His name was a bit foreign, and he doesn't look foreign either. I think I said that in part 1, but I definitely think the sketchiness around that ex, I won't be surprised if, yeah, I'll leave it there. There is more to that, even if he's not involved in the current situation. So hopefully you will also have the December psychic predictions and the woo-woo chat that I included. Let me know if you like that. And I'll probably schedule this either early access for members and Patreons, and then subscribers. So there's always something. Please remember, if you're enjoying the work, to help me by supporting the channel. It's difficult. You can also do that just by liking, commenting if you do like the videos, you do like and enjoy, because I know where to dedicate my energy. I know Hannah is one that is of interest, but I'm not the kind of reader that comes up and says, okay, let's just talk about this. And actually I wanted to talk about something. I wanted to talk about if she'd stayed in the US, I would push the family for marriage fraud, because that is something. But I think this is one of the reasons also for departing and the whole unfolding. There's going to be more. I can see it, and watch this space. But I'm not someone to just do content to gain as much as I'd like the following and the community for us to be truth seekers and put out messages that are not necessarily just based on conspiracy like a lot. I can't be inauthentic. So we're going to look at, so let's see what happens over the next day or two in that situation. But I was starting to take notes to talk about marriage feud. So Luigi, right? I was tapping into his energy, and one thing that I can say for you is I think I've not listened to so much, and obviously I don't know if there's a lot come out now. He does have trauma, and when I think of like, okay, I was getting a female case that was a bit of a trial in the reading, I was thinking, is that the mother? And I think I wrote something like that in the description box, as well as possibly his own experience. But I don't believe his own experience is, I'm not trying to downplay pain, but is the reason that he's gone about this. I think he sees that these insurances are mass excess and people are in pain. And I remember I channeled their underhanded actions, all about money, control, and we are under their thumb, and people are in pain. But that female, if it was his mother, and when I tap into that further, I get that he really needs his mother's love. I don't know the situation with the family, but I can tell you, even if he acts obnoxious to his family, he might not be aware that deep down this trauma where he's craving his mother's love. He's craving love of his mother. So I don't know if he's been estranged from his family. I do think his mum's had a situation that, you remember I said there's been a singled out from the health insurance, and I think they've said, you know, this is covered, then it's not covered. Oh look, it's trouble. And I don't think it's his mother with like something like cancer. I feel like it's more delicate, something more delicate. Whatever he had or whatever there's going to come about, there's going to be rumours that are going to sound like, what can I say, like a young man just acting out. These are the reasons why he's done it, like silly reasons, you know. I don't think these are going to be the true reasons. In the first part, I said a lot of people are going to think he's very good looking. I do think that the pictures we had with the pictures we're seeing are quite different. And there's something about the backpack I think I see that is mentioned in a thumbnail that I saw earlier. So I will ask questions, but I think that's the whole part of him. His energy is like, I want to get away with this, but I can't get away with this because I need my message to go out. And that's why he's not been like this ultra cover up. Can you remember in the first part I put the intelligent in capitals and then dumb in like that ideologist, heroine or matriarch? The reason I did that is because he's not dumb, but to do that and leave those things I felt were intentional, and you would say they are dumb things to do. so much more is going to come out on this story, a lot more, but you're going to have to be careful what you believe. So for example, if it's kind of like he had a condition, his girlfriend left him, and so I don't know, things like that. This is not his main reason. It's accumulated reasons, but those sort of reasons of the things after whatever pain he's faced are not really. So I think I saw a post about something to do with sex, right? I'm trying to think of what the thumbnail or the post said. I just read the thumbnail of the post. A lack of sex. And when I channeled into his energy, it's not sitting with me. It's not sitting as a reason. But let's go. And then as I was sitting in his energy, I was able to start channeling what he was giving me in terms of answers. So let's just go into that right now and see what I can say. Hopefully I can read all my notes. And we can pull cards. After this, I might look into some stuff. I've got the 2025 predictions here, but there will be follow-ups on that as well. So I hope you enjoy December's. You might not have seen it yet because I'm processing this and I will get it up. So I wonder if you started to become interested in like video games. I also think, you know, there might be this thing about psychedelics coming up. And although I feel there was LSDs in Hannah's, as in someone utilizing her in a vulnerable way, like, take these because I can tap into your energy and you will say stuff that will help me guide you a lot more. I don't think he was in psychosis or under like ayahuasca or psychedelics, Luigi. I really don't. Do I think there's mental health? I do. I don't think he's really aware of it. He's aware of it in terms of possibly depression, certain things, but not his reason to do this. But these things build and do cause you to be impulsive in certain things. I don't get him being in a psychosis when he did this, like under LSDs or ayahuasca. I do think there is a bit of mental health, but I think there's a lot of him craving love for his family, and I feel sadness there. I feel like it's a very sensitive point. As much as he might feel like or show that he's successful and okay, he's not. There's a deep hurt there, and I really feel the mother. So I don't know if they were estranged. I also was getting that around 5 years old, or 5 years ago possibly, but also around 5 years ago, something in his childhood, if the 5 and the 5 don't sit, that might come up in something. But there is hurt, there is a craving for his mother, and I don't think she sees that. I don't think she sees he needs or he needed love. So I'm not sure what's there. Okay, I'm not saying that she wasn't a mother that gave love, but maybe, you know, he wasn't in touch with them or something, and he wanted to live his life. But I think there is something around that 1 minute. I see that there could be a fake deal that they're going to force him into. Like words in his mouth. There's some kind of fake deal. here we go. What did I write? There's more to this. I really do want to say that. And every time I think of, you know, I said this, an insider or someone who knows, I feel like him and his family have actually had a dinner or something where the CEO's wife has been there. There's kind of some kind of dinner cultural tie. I'm not sure they know that. I just keep getting that vision. I keep getting vision that his family's been at this dinner, mainly his mum and dad and possibly him, and the wife's CEO, possibly the CEO, like a big massive gathering, has been there. There is more to come out on both sides. You know, his energy, Luigi, is kind of like, I don't want to be caught for Xing, but I want to be caught because my message needs to go out there. So I don't know if something's going to be obvious around that, but that is his energy. And I think that's why you see, like I said in part one, I was like, there's things that he's trying to cover up, but there's things where he's leaving his own fingerprints and signs that it could be him. And I think law enforcement, allegedly, disclaimer, this is my opinion, need to be careful with any kind of thinking, yeah, we've got an egotistic male at hand. And I do think there's a bit of narcissism with him. I think he's a good guy, he's a sociable guy. Now, when I say good guy, obviously going about things by Xing is very disturbing. But prior to this, like as a person, he's not a malice person. He's not an evil person. But there's a message he wants to put out, but there's also behind it a lot more. Okay, there is a lot more to this. I don't know why I get the word Zelensky. Now, I think Zelensky is a president, but I don't know if there's someone else that was very strong in messaging. And if I have that word or that person correctly, it seems like it's someone that had a strong message, but might have done a crime or something. I don't know. I need to check that and sit and meditate on that. But law enforcement should not underestimate his intelligence, because they might think, oh, he thinks he's smart, etc., but he's not really, to not cover these tracks. But there's something more. When I think of Brian, he's very silent, and I don't like to channel as soon as there's a passing, so I didn't. I did with Liam Payne because Spirit wouldn't leave me alone. Okay, so when Spirit pushes me because they feel there's going to be a massive drama of conspiracies, I get pushed to do it, and I do it in a very sensitive way to deliver a message. I think in time I will properly channel Liam, and I still believe there might be an organisation or a charity set up in his name. And if his family see this, which I doubt they will, they should do that, because it's going to be, he wants that. He wants that. Like, I got that in the first read directly, and it's going to be successful. So with Brian, there is part of this investigation. They will either mask, because whatever Brian did is nothing to do with an Xing, but he has some hidden things. There's more to come on this case. There is more to unfold, and there's going to be a lot more that's going to be like, what the hell is happening? A lot. Do you know when there's truth and there's non-truths, and there's things that get out in social media and then we don't know and then we know? There's going to be a lot of that. The mass media will try to cover up what they want in this case. And I think Luigi has something. They may also feel that they have to be careful that he doesn't expose, because I do think if he is guilty and he goes to, if he is guilty and he's sentenced, there is going to be like interviews, etc., that will be done. I think if we even research his name on Wikipedia, it's probably already there. Even if we search for, which I'd love to know his date of birth, it might not be there on Wikipedia, but Wikipedia might have just like a paragraph on who he is of what we know so far. So he does have something. I do think he's got a lot more exposure. I think he's tapped into some internal stuff as well, not necessarily with healthcare, but beyond that. He's not a bad person in his soul, okay? But please, this is not the way to go about stuff. I fear that we might feel like the only way we can be heard is going about these things. And this is why our matrix and frameworks, gov, etc., needs to change. And that's why I say we need to come together, because the only way we can get a message is when we come together and we put a stop against what these leaders are. I also want to point out, and it comes in the channeling with Luigi, I mentioned in part 1, the way they are looking for this guy is as if it's a president. So when you think of Brian, what does that mean? That means he's not a president. So why, a lot of people get shot, a lot of people get axed, and the trials, the pre-hearings are 3-4 years later, etc., etc. So what is it? It's money. He's an entrepreneur. He has money. What's the difference between him and someone else? I can understand a president, but just look at that. And it comes in this channeling as well. There's going to be some baffling of some people, because they will try to hide and quiet stuff. I said in part 1, there will be things that should be investigated in terms of the health insurance, and possibly Brian, but overall, there's going to be an exposing of some tops, more coming out of this, all right? And whether it's trickles from Luigi leaving, kind of saying certain things, but at the same time it's going to be like, we need to downplay this because we need to focus on him, and we don't want to get into that sort of stuff. It can make a big kind of erosion. Interesting word, erosion. So I also, I looked at the pictures because there was a thumbnail that said a different backpack, it can't be him. So I looked at the pictures, and I think one strap was light, another strap was dark, and I was thinking, well, if he wants to really hide himself, and he needs 2 bags or to change bags, he's gonna buy on that day, whenever, 2 pieces of the same bag. So to me, that's, if it is him, it's intentional. And I do get, yes, changed and low-key left it. So has he left a bag somewhere, one of the bags? He was not mind controlled. Or do you remember the attempted AS on Duck DT? I said on one of them, I said he was like online recruited, DS. This is not that. And he's not, I said in part 1, if anything, he could be tipped off. And I think tipped off because he's done it, but not paid to do it. You know what I mean? And he would have done it regardless. It's kind of like, I'm going to do this. And they're like, well, if you get it done, good on you, I'll give you something to support you. But it's not a paid thing. And if that is it, do you feel you will get caught? this is a message. This is where I started getting his responses to me, and it was like, not that day. I was confident. I was feeling good that day. Not to be egotistic. If I do sound ego, that would be me mirroring these fools. So here he's saying, I felt confident, I was in a good mood, you know, in good days, but he's not trying to say I was egotistically confident. You know, I was having a good day, I was feeling good. And he's saying if I were to be an egotistic ass, I'd be mirroring the fools. So basically, I think he's talking about, I felt in the first read, he's talking about capitalists, corporate America, these people that have got money, and just, I keep getting underhanded and we're under the thumb and controlled, and they're just like walking money machines or something like that, the walking power. I do get a bit of mental health, but he doesn't feel that it was a mental health at the moment, but he was aware of his mental health around 2 years ago. I get 2 years ago for that. I asked about DRUGs, and he said not DRUGs, but obviously I've tried some for fun, for trial, and what my mind can bring up. Will it bring out a revelation or an invention or an idea for me to have a revelation or invention of purpose of something that I can lead, a movement or something in my name, but not for my name, for it to be, oh, this is the Luigi name. I don't mean it that way, or in a malice, in a inhuman way, but, or in the way of underhanded, or the way that they can cause mass Xing, and we are just silenced. And I then see like people with tape on their mouth. And so he's basically wanting to create a vigilante, a movement, be a leader and that kind of thing, but he doesn't mean so that my name is known like egotistically, even though I do get a bit of a sense of entitlement with him. So I'm going to go into that. People will say McDonald's, the McDonald's person is a hero that caught me, but I got the change to start happening. I was needing movement and to be heard. Things needed to be heard. But I obviously didn't want to do time for a crime or time for Xing. Here I feel like he's not in denial that he's done Xing, but the weight of Xing someone is not absorbed yet. And I think that's because he is kind of like I said, it might be to do with seeing so much of these, like the CEOs, and it's not only particularly that one, but obviously there is experience with that one, but he's talking about the way they just bash you from one to one. They're disorganized, they point the finger at each other and you can't get anywhere. And they also change your deductible. They change, like, yes, it's covered and then it's not covered, and then they say, you know, you need to pay more. Please check out part 1. There's some of that coming through. And so he's not accepting the weight of what he's done. That's my note. What else was I going to say here? So he's not in denial either, right? I think it's because he sees like this person, this organization are lying, they're underhanded, and they cause so much pain, and people's lives are ruined, like from an illness or being crippled from pain, like your life is no longer there. And actually some people, you know, you don't have a life after that, and some people actually being X'd because they're not getting the treatment they need or can afford it. I'm not a bad person, but people need to be treated better. And then my note is here, money talks. So what I was saying, that's my note. This is him. Watch what comes. Trust me, it's an alarm. But if I want it to be malice or how they will portray me, and watch how they will portray me. Some will say I'm also insane or I was on psychedelics. A lot can be exposed, but I haven't said a lot. Okay, so and with that, I got Julian Assange come through. His name and picture came through to me. And then I said about the backpack, and he smiles. He says, do you think it's not meant, or was something to be seen, hidden? Wouldn't I buy 2 bags? This was not spontaneous. I think he means it wasn't like I was walking down the street with my gun and I saw him, so I just went for it. You know, I didn't know who I was going for. This is not spontaneous. I had pain. My mum had pain. Someone I love dearly had pain. I think he's talking about his mum. And it's nothing to do with girls. People will say it's all about girls and that I'm a male chauvinist. Yes, I was on opiates for the pain. And yet I did try some DRUGs. Some were psychedelic. How do I say it? Give you kind of psychedelic the way psychedelics make you feel. But when I ask about LSDs, I know they're similar to psychedelics. He seemed to say no. Okay. And he was like, I was testing a lot of things for the pain that I was in. I needed to be in relief, but my mum was in crippling pain. Hers was not a singular popular illness. They promised and then they didn't cover. Nothing to lose when you're in pain and anger. And yes, there was rage. I had rage. I don't mean at the moment that I did it, but I'm not an rageful person. I love people, but are all people examples of what people should be? People should obviously help each other, and if you've got money, then why aren't you? Why are we being lied to? Law enforcement and justice, gang to play with me. Oh, gang to play with me. I know not all will be told. Going to play with me. I'm not in denial on what I did or why. Again, I've put in comments, my moat, the weight of Xing has not been absorbed. And then I put, how can I don't know what he meant there. And then it's like this, the word help. And then I've got, well, I know someone. Oh, did you have help? I know someone in the family or some insider. Trust me, there was a dinner, but they might not remember me or my family. And then I've put ask the cards on mental health. So let's do that right now. Let's ask the cards on his mental health. Where's the cards? Thank you. I hope you're enjoying this. We might have updates by the time you see this, you know. First, so I split the cards to shuffle. This one turned like this. I close my eyes and it's the 7 of Cups in reverse. So he is definitely not seeing things clearly. In that moment, he saw things clearly. When I say mental health, I see a fluctuation of his mental health. You know, 7 of Cups reversed. He sees things clearly, and I don't think, what I'm getting here, there wasn't psychosis. So people, it's clearly, regardless of what he's used, and I get strongly the opiates in terms of painkillers. I was getting that, and that's why I put that. But also, I think he mentions it as I go further on. Was 7 of Cups in reverse. Okay, so, you know, he wasn't in a psychosis at the time of doing this. Definitely not. I'm wondering with this card whether to pull more. Just make sure they're all... Here, okay, I wonder if he had mental health, something in his childhood again, where he's seen a doctor or a practitioner. There's something in his childhood, okay, and it's coming up here. I also see that he was never or hardly, and I think it comes up, there was times where he wasn't given enough medication for his pain, if he was in pain, or when he needed help for his mental health, you know. Here, when I see that, I just want to focus on the cards a moment. There's something of his childhood, I've said it, and it's come up in this cards here. He's definitely seen a doctor in his early childhood for this. But during, you know, Seven of Cups for me reversed, he wasn't in psychosis, exactly what I said. I think it aligns when he did this, okay? So let's put these back. Let's continue. Oh, my cards are all over the place. 1 second, so when we pull cards for the next one. I'd actually like to pull how is he feeling right now. I wonder if he's got a lawyer, you know, let his family help him with that. If he does, I dare say his lawyer's going to say, be quiet, you know. I can see him just, if he, because he's got a message to say, he's going to take the opportunity to say it. But it's not going to work in a not guilty thing. So we've done the mental health question. Childhood, 5 years ago, 5 years old, in his childhood basically, feel pain of the mother. He loves her deeply, but he seems he needed more and a different love. He yearns for his mother, or, you know, a love from his family member. Something is there, deep trauma. There's some yearning of love that he wants. Is he estranged, or is there some time of gap? There's something, and it's more than just like, for example, if they've not spoken for 4 weeks because, you know, it's that age or whatever. There's a bit more to that. I love her, but where is she? And what I want to say with that is that she might be present, but there's a yearning there. I see a boy yearning for his mother. And he doesn't understand his yearning. I think he needs a bit of counselling on that to understand it. He knows it, but do you know when it's kind of like, I need to recognise this is making me feel, elaborate in certain ways. There's a family wound anyway. Okay, so next. I am not a drugee, okay? And here I feel a bit of sadness with him when I talk about family, and also, you know, he's saying he's not a druggie. The CEO wife knows, or there's a cultural person, or there's a dinner that they've attended or something, but not, I don't mean she knows him and she told him go do the Xing, you know what I mean? There's some kind of thing, but there is something. I wonder if it will get said. in terms of a knowing of a knowing, or of a knowing even, or UHC in the healthcare had so many chances, but never ever the slightest minute cost or help did they do. Everyone pointed fingers at each other, and also there was the underhanded, fueling under the thumbs that we have to just abide by. They're disorganized, and they will take every cents. So cents in terms of money. I was like, why have I written cents? By the way, I feel like he's the new age martyr. He's like a new age martyr. It's kind of the age we're going into, but this is not the way to go about stuff. Okay, we can do it by coming together and causing a movement. You know, look at the protests. I'm not a coward. Whoever will call me one. Do you think I cannot conceal some things? Like, I was sat in McDonald's where everyone says it was a hero. I was chilling into music. I can see him with his headphones smiling. And he's either got a laptop or a device, or he's got like something he's just kind of casually leading off, all right? I don't know what it is. It's something in his hands. I feel like he's reading it, but it's not a book. It's not like a book with short, really thin lines. It's more like bigger writing, and it's either a laptop that he's doing something or he's reading something, but it's a chill kind of read. It's not intense. Do you think that that is concealing who I am? How many absorb and have a bit of a breakdown? So I said, this is me, my note. He will in the future absorb the weight of it, obviously, and that might cause him to have a bit of a breakdown. So we have to be careful with that. There's going to be media press interviews coming up in time. The breakdown, what I mean is in terms of absorbing the weight of his action. Corporate and capitalists need a lesson. That's what he feels. I said the family something. He wanted own agenda. And he says to do this, it wasn't easy. I had to be full of energy and I had to be impulsive, so that I don't overthink the shot, even though I was angry. And then after I did it, because I had to feel that anger and rage and not feel like, what the hell have I just done? I felt anger and rage and knew why I was doing it. I have been in pain. I feel emotional pain with him and trauma pain as well. That's where I think there's a bit of mental health. And then I said, ayahuasca is like, please, ayahuasca. I would only do it if it was to help my pain. And I was never given enough pain management. But the one time that I was given some pain management, it's kind of like they just want to numb you, or they give you nothing. Like, you're screaming with pain. And I don't know if he's talking about his experience here or in general. Or they give you so much that you become like, you can become addicted to it. I've got something to ask here. Was there a schizophrenia side to him because of this? I get no. So there wasn't because of any GRUG's schizophrenia, okay? There was some paranoia, okay? There was some paranoia there, and very defensive in terms of meeting new people and socializing. So I wonder if he was very social at the beginning, but then he didn't. The reason is that I got the Nine of Swords, I got the Two of Cups, and I got something else. I put it back because I was looking for a certain card if it was a yes. But then I interpreted the cards. My life, I felt, was over at some stage because of what was happening. And there you go, you've got the CEO that's just walking money, living his life. But watch what's gonna come out, and who knows. And he points to a dinner occasion again. No to the mind control, DS, or being recruited, and a patsy. That's just him. So whether there's someone else or not, and it's not only the CEO to blame for what is happening or is happening in the America. He said, yes, he has a lawyer, but watch them play me and not give me enough time with my lawyer. And my note is, he's gonna act out more if they try to control. For example, if they try to put him in situations that make him more angry, like for example, if he's allowed 2 hours with his lawyer but he gets 1 hour, or they give the 2 hours, like at 4 o'clock in the morning you need to wake up and you can have your 2 hours then, that's going to cause more rage and anger, because it's the control again. And I get, look at it, if he was not money, this is him, just walking money, would I be caught so soon? Are people not shot and, I should have said pew-pewed, all the time? Doesn't this tell you something? I left fingerprints and, let's say, the backpack. I left signs and things. Come on. You don't even have to be intelligent for that. Then when I got pain management, it's in one go, it's not free, and it's like they'll give you enough to numb you and not feel anything in life, or they don't give you anything and you're crippling with pain. He's talking about people, and I think some of his experience there, or his mother's experience, someone's experience. And then I wanted to do something. It's like, so you're not that smart. He's like, no, I am smart, and I can wrap them in a whirlwind of things if I want to talk more. And then I was like, will the lawyer not tell you to keep quiet? He was like, I know, but... And then I just get this psychic feeling and vision that they will play and prod him so that he rages. So for example, what I think is, for example, when they're transporting them, sometimes some officers will try to go down a door where there's no press, just for privacy and stuff, or they might ask for the back door to open. This is where they'll take him to the press, okay? Or they'll do stuff to prod him that will cause him to talk, to say things that are actually not going to work in his favour, or cause more rage in front of people, giving him that opportunity where he does want to talk, he shouldn't, but also there's a prod behind it that is making him think that, like, well, my life's over, I'm going to be sentenced, so let me get the message out as much as I want. And that's what I was seeing, like, instead of a quiet door, they'll take him from the press side instead, or they'll do, just try and prod him a bit more. I might as well make sure I get the message out now, as I will be locked up if things go this way. Yep, capitalists, but have you seen how... So in terms of McDonald's, some will say obviously it's capitalist, and so he's like, yes, capitalist, but have you seen how employees are treated at McDonald's, can be treated at McDonald's? They even have training days out, are listened to. And then I don't know if it's my mind that remembers Trump being there or he reminds me of Duck being there. There was a fear of paralysis with him. And they just tell you like they're serving you French fries. Like, what the F? They're telling you could be paralyzed for life on something. And then they just tell you like, here you go, French fries. The future, when I prod into him in the future, it's kind of like, yes, I effed up. It's kind of like the weight of it solving in. I did the best I could with the cards I had in my life, the cards that I was dealt. And now, can you see the domino effect that I started? All these dominoes are what I started. Can you remember that of me? And I feel sadness there, and I feel like instead of focusing what he's done to his life, he kind of, because he don't want to dive into that pain, he quickly goes into this direction that I've caused this domino effect that I really wanted to. But I feel like as well as being a vigilante, it's more so because of pain, of yearning of his mother being closer. There's something there. There is a bit of a sense of entitlement with him, but again, he's not a bad person. I crave family and love, but they don't understand, and I don't think I say it or indicate clearly. Maybe I don't know how to, and you see my trauma, but someday I might be able to see it. And then I ask, was he a planted pasty? I'm going to ask the cards. I don't think he is. I don't know if he's the guilty one. I think he probably is. I'm going to ask that again because we've got an interested card. So we got a major arcana. We got the devil card, okay. It's kind of a bit in reverse. I think, let me just ask and I'll tell you what I'm getting. Okay, so I get a no here. He's not a planted pasty that is planted to say he X'd. But I think they will try to plant more on him, okay? With that devil that came in reverse. There might be some things that they might try to plant on him more. Will they need to? Probably not, but let's see how the story unfolds. There's something that they might try to plant further on him. You know, I said that I saw that thumbnail about he could not, there's something about sex. So I put here sex. He said, yeah, okay, but do you really think that I would X someone just for sex, even if I wasn't able to for a certain period of time, which is not confirmed? So now that I'll be in, I X someone and I go to jail, it's better. Are you effing kidding me? That's what I get. Yes, it could be a frustration, a man's frustration, but it's definitely not even on a whole list of things that I've got. And if it ever was, it'll be at the bottom of the very list of a very low percentage. It's not something that should be even considered for the reason of me doing this. So we do have to be careful. This is not a way to go about things if we want change. That's my note. I don't think if he suffered anything in particular, that's not his only cause of this. That's what I'm trying to say. He could have narcissistic or psychopathy traits. A lot of people have narcissistic psychopathy traits, okay. There's going to be a lot of people that don't believe he did it. There's going to be a lot of people that don't want to believe or say, not believe, say he did it because they believe what he did is going to start a movement because of them experiencing certain pain, their life being in a certain situation, etc. So I think that's the movement we're going to see. So I think we're going to have to see what the defense is going to say. Is he going to be, you know, you need to hush it up, Luigi, a little bit. I don't know why I'm saying hush it up. Like, he can't speak right now, can he? But maybe don't speak. I feel like there's a bit of an embarrassment in terms of family and friends, that like, oh my God, people can be like, oh my God, did you really do this? How did you do this? And so that's going to also cause him to want to say stuff when he gets a chance on his whole messaging, and not show that he's weak or scared in front of people. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, please do like, subscribe. I don't know what's to come next of this. I think they're going to do a speedy one, but absolutely, you know, I was thinking about it first reading. I was like, geez, they're going after him like he's a president, that it was the president. And then when I was channeling, I was like, money must talk. And then, you know, he even said it in me channeling him. And if we think about it, how true is that? So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give it a like, subscribe. You can always buy me a brew by donating to the PayPal link. And take care.